Chris and I have been talking about second wave spirituality, and by now you must realize that what Chris is proposing, what I'm proposing in Sacred Activism, is a real challenge to all spiritual communities, to all churches, to all religions. How do you see this challenge, Chris?
You know, I think, and I know you believe that, we are in the biggest reformation ever of our spiritual and theological thinking. Matthew Fox so beautifully speaks about it as the great second reformation.
Right.
We are in the midst of a transformation in the way we think about our relationship with the divine, with this whole thing about love and action and engaged spirituality, the spirituality that stands with the oppressed, stands with the animals that are being butchered, a spirituality that expresses itself in solidarity. This is I mean, this is a moment in our consciousness where our religious and spiritual thinking is undergoing an incredible evolution leap.
And it's healing a split that has been very convenient for the powers that be between spiritual evolution, enlightenment so-called, and politics and economics and the treatment of animals and the treatment of women and the treatment of gays.
Exactly.
This split has allowed terrifying oppression to continue.
Yes.
And the healing of this split is essential for two things.
Yes.
It's essential for human survival at all, and it's essential in an even grander sense for the next evolutionary leap that humanity has to take to be able to deal with the appalling problems that we're facing.
Yes. And it's fascinating that it has already started on a spontaneous level. People are discovering, especially young people, we have to give them a great deal of credit. They are discovering that to be truly spiritual, to really worship the divine, is to love all beings, and to love by being out there, making a difference with the economic split and poverty, making a difference with the ecological nightmare that we're going on. And that is a you know, we speak about developing a new consciousness, but it is really a new engaged consciousness that's being born. We are realizing that, you know, like the beautiful story of Jesus, for example, where Jesus was out there. I mean, how can we forget that? He was with the poor, he was with the prostitutes, he gathered the children unto himself when the children were being exiled. He respected women and called them to places of authority. And of course, other spiritual leaders.
They were all radicals and revolutionaries. But this, of course, it sounds very beautiful and is very beautiful and is actually happening. But it really challenges the New Age, for example. It challenges all fundamentalisms. It challenges any vision of enlightenment that is purely private. So I'd like you to address those three things, and to address them as forcefully as I know you address them when we're talking about them, so that people can really hear your passion about it.
Well, I would put it this way, is we have privatized religion. And we have even privatized spirituality. Although the first wave spirituality took us far, but it didn't break out the doors of looking at spirituality as something private.
It remained mired in narcissism, let's say it.
My peace, my comfort, my well-being,
my
enlightenment, not realizing that we are one. Now that's very interesting, and I know we both teach that first wave spirituality talked to us about oneness, that we're all one. But we didn't fully look at what it means. When I'm one with the poor, and I'm really one with the poor, or I'm really one with the minorities that are mistreated.
You have to be a champion of justice, otherwise your oneness means a hill of beans.
Exactly. And I have to be the voice of the voiceless. And any gift I have in my life, if it is money, if it's good looks, if it's intelligence, if it is social connections, they are gifts given to me in service of those I'm one with. So this whole private spirituality that held us back, and allowed other people to create havoc in the world, that is being transformed. We are understanding that there is no private spirituality. I discover my authenticity and my peace in passionate service, because I am one with everybody else.
In passionate relationship, which leads to passionate engagement, which leads to passionate service, which leads to passionate transformation.
Exactly.
This is the key. And this is the key for the transformation of the planet.
Definitely.
If we claim and ride this glorious golden wave of second wave spirituality, if we follow the work of Dorothy Sewell and Matthew Fox and Abbé Pierre,
and
all
Sally
the wonderful
McFaig
people,
and Dermot O'Moore and Beverly Lanzetta, so many people that are now writing about this and saying, get engaged, get engaged. You know, and the other thing is, you know, we took the word oneness, but we didn't fully understand it. Now we're starting to understand it. That oneness means solidarity.
Yes.
The word love, I mean, we have...
What does love mean without justice?
Exactly.
Right.
That love is justice.
Right.
Love is democratic rights. Love
Right.
is freedom. Love is solidarity. And that love cannot stop at our doorsteps, cannot stop with loving our family. That love is the unbounded, passionate, cosmic, explosive love of the divine, and cannot stop until this planet becomes what it was dreamt to become.
It cannot stop until every animal is protected, every poor person is given a decent, dignified living, the structures that keep people poor are changed, every woman is honored, every gay person is treated with respect.
And every child who is praying for death or deliverance is held and protected.
Right.
And second wave spirituality is, for example, regarding children and animals, which are the most vulnerable.
Yes.
And also, you know, older people, is realizing we cannot have the vulnerable not to be protected.
No.
How can we speak of love in our churches or synagogues or temples or wherever, or mosques without, and then we leave older people or children in affliction or animals in affliction? How can we speak of that love?
Right.
How can we expect the divine to be with us, that to walk the path of spirituality in whatever form, Buddhist, Christian, whatever form, is to, like you so beautifully say, embody divine love in us, so we become service, passionate service to the world, and we discover ourselves through service. This is a whole new paradigm of theology.
It's much more than a paradigm of theology, it's a whole new paradigm of human being and doing.
Yes.
Theology is the foundation, and change the spirituality of the world, and you change the vision that human beings have of themselves, change that, then human beings will feel empowered by this glorious evolutionary wave and really overcome the coma of powerlessness and despair and meaninglessness that is afflicting so many millions of people now, and rise up together to change this situation.
And the issue of power, when we say people want to, well, we don't have the power, power is in love. Once we get that love in action, we will discover the power. I have never felt as powerful as holding the hand of somebody that was suffering and struggling, and being with them and willing to hold their hand. I have never felt the power of the divine.
That's when you know the power of love at its most intense, and that's when you know how magnificent your own power is, and how this power is being supported by the full power of the full divine, and that's when you know that that power can change even the worst disaster into an opportunity for transformation.
And what we need now, I believe, this is very, very important to my heart, is we need religious teachers and spiritual teachers to get out and say that love is asking us to be engaged for justice, for reconciliation, for transformation. We need, you are going all over the world speaking about the importance of getting engaged, the importance of sacred activism.
Well, it's not just importance, it's now necessity.
Crucial.
Without it, nothing. With it, everything.
Crucial.
We cannot anymore afford a private vision of spirituality.
No.
It is bankrupt. It is participating in the death of the world. The only way the world can go forward, and the best and holiest way for all of us to go forward, is to really listen to the core message of all the scriptures, which is a message of love and oneness, and then put it into action.
And what I would say to you who are listening to us is that go to your beloved ministers, go to your beloved spiritual teachers, and ask them to speak and teach about the connection between spirituality, love, and justice. Tell them that you want to hear that. Ask them to write about it and to speak about it, but do not accept anymore, like Andrew is saying, the split between spirituality on one hand and a world that is suffering on the other hand. There is a great reformation that is happening, and I beg you not to wait until the leaders do that, but go to the leaders and ask them to do that.